Good morning, yogis, and welcome to Yoga with Leif. Now, this class is intended to activate and wake up your body and give yourself a really nice start to your day. So it is a little bit better to have consistency in your practice rather than just doing, say, one more heavier, more intense practice once a week. So it would be better to do something like 5 or 10 minutes if that's really all that you have the time for or the energy for every day to every second day, than to do just like one main or bigger class once a week, which is also why I wanted to make some shorter videos like this one. That's easy to just, hey, I have 10 minutes, so yeah, let's put on this and just move and stretch and wake up the body. So we're going to be moving through some really nice postures. Don't really need anything special today. Maybe a block or a blanket, some comfortable clothes is pretty okay. So get yourself ready and I'll meet you on your mat. We are starting in Balasana or Child's Pose. Now, if you have a favorite Child's Pose, feel free to just go into that right away. If not, it's this pose here. So I'm going to be here with my hands out in front of me. Now, you might want to have a block or a blanket, something like that, to sit on, to have under your bum. It helps to alleviate some of the pressure on your knees, or have something between your legs and your thighs. So you're going to come down here and try to rest, relax, release any tensions that we have in the body. And maybe go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths. Noticing your thoughts, your feelings. How are you doing today? There's no real need to change anything here or judge yourself. We're just observing and noticing what kind of body, what kind of energy we're working with today. My stomach is growling. I think it wants some coffee. If you're familiar with the internal locks, the bandhas, and the ujjayi breathing, you can start to explore those now. If you're not familiar with those, and I do have some videos on my channel that go more into depths and explain what those things are, how we use them in our practice. And if you'd like to set an intention for this class, or maybe even your day, you can do that now. And we have one last breath here. And we're going to start to come up to sitting. Alright, so we're going to be doing some yes and no movements with the head and neck. Being careful not to go too far deep in anything here, just really gently making some movements to start to warm up our spine. Breathing in, lifting our arms up over our head. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers as well, and pressing the palms up towards the roof. Maybe do some small twists in your spine here as well. Last breath. And dropping the hands, coming up on all fours for some cat-cow. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, pressing the whole hand and fingers down into the mat. Have some active legs here behind us, inside of the thighs. Think of rotating the inside of the elbows forwards without overextending your arms, so stacking those joints on top of each other. Finding a long spine, engaging the stomach. Think Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, the internal locks. And breathing in, opening up the front body. And breathing out, opening up the back body. And if you feel like I'm going too fast here, you can do it in your own tempo, breathing in. And out. And of course, this is your practice here, so breathing in. If you want to explore this pose and do some other movements, feel free to do that. Breathing out. Last breath, breathing in. And out. Coming back to a neutral back, neutral spine. Finding some length, and we're going to walk the hands a little bit forward. Getting ready for a chaturanga push-up. Trying to keep a long, straight body, and on the exhale, bending the elbows, coming down, arms, elbows along the side, and breathing in, coming back up, and breathing out all the way down to the floor. Finding our cobras, we're pushing our legs down into the mat, pulling our stomach in, and then lifting up, shoulders, chest, thinking of having a long spine and neck here. And breathing out, coming down. We're going to go up one more time, breathing in. Remember, in with the stomach. Maybe we can see if we can lift the hands this time. Breathing out and coming down. The next one is upward facing dog. So going up on the balls of our feet, pushing ourselves a little bit further forward and finding our upward dog. And since it's the first one today, totally feel free to have a bit of a sloppy dog here. Up dog, so maybe have the knees down. But remember positioning the arms, feeling the weight down into our hands. Maybe leaning from side to side, working those shoulders, opening up the heart. Noticing the lower back. If there's any pain or discomfort here, maybe you should go a little bit out of the pose, or a little bit further up with the hips, or maybe you have to engage your legs and bring your bum a little bit more. Last breath. Sending the hips back towards all fours. Going up on the balls of our feet, and then finding today's first downward facing dog. So here in this pose, totally feel free to explore your body, see what you need today. You can also just ask yourself, like, oh, what movements do I need to do here in this pose to start to open up and activate my body. Breathing in, gazing forwards between our hands, breathing out, bending both knees, and then we're going to walk forwards to our hands. Think of rolling through the soles of our feet, spreading our toes for each step that we take. And last breath here. So totally feel free to have some space between your feet. But we're spreading the toes, bending the knees, whatever we have to. And here, also again exploring, feeling what we need. Maybe it's nice just to hang over. Maybe you want to twist a little bit from side to side. Just finding some length in the body. 2 more breaths here. Noticing your thoughts, how you're doing. Bring the hands to the mat. And our right foot's coming back behind us. We're going to find a low lunge. Bring the knee to the floor. So we have some active legs here to support us underneath. Maybe we have our hands down as well. We're going to find a nice stretch here in the front of our thigh. So dropping the hips, engaging the stomach, finding some length in our spine, and maybe think of pulling your heel a little bit towards you. So if you have some blocks or chair, maybe you're doing this next to a couch or a coffee table, or you can just come up and help support yourself on your thigh. Last breath. And bring the weight back into our hands. And the back foot's coming forward and changing sides. And again, if you feel like I might be going too fast here, then totally just take all the time that you need. Coming in and finding the pose. And as well, because this is a video on YouTube, you can totally press pause if you need a little bit more time. Two more breaths. And again, coming down, hands, back foot back in. We're going to bend the knees, coming down to our mat. We're going to lay down. We just have two poses left here. First one is going to be a spinal twist. So with the soles of our feet in the mat, knees pointing up, we're just going to drop both knees down to the left side, stretching out the right arm, and then our gaze is coming over to our right side here as well. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the pose, you can think of collecting the legs, maybe bringing the knees even on top of each other. Then we're going to go a lot deeper into the twist, trying to keep both shoulder blades down onto the mat. Last breath. And bring the legs back up and changing the side. Three more breaths here. Now we're going to bring knees back up. You can use your hand here as well if that feels nice. So the last pose is butterfly, bringing the soles of our feet together. And then you can adjust how close you have your feet to you, depending on what feels right. But maybe where you feel like it's stretching the most, that's where you should have your feet. So your hands, we can have them on our legs. There's an extra weight to help bring the knees down. We can have our arms in cactus, trying to release any tension that we might have in the body. And two more breaths. We're going to bring those legs back together again. And then in towards our chest, giving ourselves a great big hug here. Maybe massaging our back, a little bit back and forth, side to side. Whatever feels right for you here today. And we're going to eventually come up to sitting so we can start moving a bit back and forth, using our hands or our legs or knees here to help come up to sitting. So finding a comfortable sitting position, some length in our spine, long neck, closing our eyes, bringing our hands together in front of our heart. Taking some deep breaths for ourselves and noticing our thoughts. Noticing how we feel. And see if you can feel the energy that you have inside of you. Maybe reminding yourself of your intention. Thank you all very much for joining me today's morning practice. Namaste. Right. So if you like today's class, maybe share it with a friend or someone who you know might be interested in yoga. And if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, namaste, and have a fantastic day.